Welcome to Never Rewrite. I'm Isaac Askew.
I'm Dustin Ray.
And I'm Jeffrey Sherman. And today we're going to continue our series on things, technology that we don't do anymore. Dustin's going to lead us with browser specification, or making your website browser specific.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a lot of front end experience, and something that was very, very common in my early career was spending, even up to 30, 40, 50% of your time just getting all of the browsers to look identical, so that whichever browser the user chose, they would have the same experience with the product or the website. So this is like back in the days when we would have like Internet Explorer 6 and Internet Explorer 7.
The
Yeah,
internet, I mean, I'll be old again. This is back in the days when we would use front page and you hit save and it would FTP directly to production, right? That's what we're talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah, even
Or is it
even
before?
even that too. But even after that, right? So even this is like even what I mean, this would be in 2010s, I'm thinking of, like in early like
Yeah.
around 2010,
Tens of.
we were still doing, I mean, that's 15 years ago, Jeffrey.
I
16
guess
years
it
ago.
is.
Don't make it so obvious. Don't reflect on that. But
Right?
no,
So yeah, 16 years ago, you would actually
yeah.
budget for this stuff as a business. Whereas like today, it's table stakes is what I'm getting at. Like no one even like brings that up as like a line item on the invoice or on the project scope doc, right? But in the past, it would be like an actual milestone that you do.
I know one reason for that because I remember, I guess it was 15, 16 years ago. We were
Yeah.
building a website and it was for a government agency, and they had to have Internet 7
Hmm.
compatibility, like as like a
Yeah.
requirement for their web page. So it didn't really matter that we were just wanting to code for the modern thing. Like they just legally had to be compliant with that browser.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
unfortunately, we saw it was going to be sunset at some point. I forget what year this was, because we were like, everyone celebrated when Internet Explorer finally died and was one thing
Yeah.
you
Oh
just
yeah.
didn't have to
Huge.
support
Yeah.
anymore, right? But yeah, it was some part of it was like a legality thing, not even just a good experience. Because I think for
Hmm.
like what I would try to do is I would look and see the most popular browsers, and if I could hit 95% of everybody's traffic, I would be happy. But before that, when it was still pretty split to like 70, 15, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
or I guess even pieces like 60, 20, 20, or whatever, then you really were kind of forced to do that because you couldn't just make it not work in an Explorer because that was such a huge piece of the traffic at that time.
Yeah, and that was common in Fortune 500 and any regulated industry was you had to support like these like browsers. So yeah, fair point.
Right now, like I actually encountered this recently where my accountant's secure file upload doesn't support Safari. So I needed to use Chrome, right, to upload my tax docs because it's that time of year. And I was like, wow, doesn't support Safari. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it definitely was a time, and I think it's not to say that we don't deal with this at all today. Like we still do. Like I just heard of a bug the other day where someone was seeing something in Safari different, and I was like, that's what actually made me think of this talk is like, man, we used to spend like so much time just
Mm-hmm.
getting these browsers the same, and to think like of all of the web developers and all the programmers collectively spending their time to just to just
Right.
make them the same. That's all that we were
Yeah.
doing.
I mean, I remember vaguely because I was always more the back end, but yeah, it used to be a thing. You'd have to make it work on the major browsers at least.
Right, right.
Well,
Yeah,
even
that's always
thinking
the
back to
first step.
the tax thing, Jeffrey, like if they're like, okay, we'll just use a different browser because you
Mm-hmm.
can't use Safari for this, right? I think another thing is like we've shifted technologically. Like back in the day, it was, if I tried to tell my mom, I guess even today, I can't really tell my mom, download a different browser and swap to that, for now. I'd have to do that for her. But I think the population has shifted because there's so many tech savvy people who are just used to working with computers now versus 20
Mm-hmm.
years ago. That, if someone's like annoyed with it not working in that browser, they could figure out how to swap to another browser or install some other one. And it, even though it's really inconvenient, you don't want to do that to some kind of, customer of your software, you can still get around it. So Jeffrey can still figure out, you know, yes, he is a software engineer too. That does
Yes.
help, but he can figure out, okay, I guess they just don't use Safari. We'll swap, but there's still a way to get this done. So that might
Right.
that might kind of help take it away too.
Good old training the humans to use the computer instead of the computer being taught to work for the humans.
All right.
Awesome.
That's your topic?
Anything left coming back with I also feel like the zero interest rate period where basically Facebook was subsidizing React as the thing, and everyone else has pretty much adopted React because Facebook subsidized it and beat out all the other competitors. I think that had a big narrowing effect too, where Facebook needed everything to work everywhere, and everyone just does what Facebook does, right? Facebook is React, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, Facebook's React. Google did Angular.
That's right. Oh,
I
Yeah,
didn't
I think Google kind of started with Angular. You know, that was like the first one.
Remember Ember?
Mhm.
That's still around?
Oh, it is. I have AI agents fixing Ember shit for me, stuff for me now.
Excellent. Vibe code.
It's I'm trying to vibrate the cruft off. It's like a sonic pick.
Yeah, right.
The dentist.
It's a good analogy.
It's like I know this is wrong.
Last episode. Sonic pick this episode.
It's a sonic screwdriver. The doctor uses it.
Mm-hmm.
There's.
I get that reference.
Oh, you get that reference. All right.
All right.
Yes. All right. Thank you all for listening. I'm Jeffrey Sherman.
Dustin Ray.
And I'm Isaac Askew, and this is Never Rewrite.